Hello, my friends. I hope that you had a restful and meaningful Memorial Day weekend. This past week has been filled with confusing and conflicting messages, so I thought it was time to bring you an update from Wayzata Community Church. We have seen different denominations and specific faith communities all responding in different ways to the coronavirus. This is nothing new. And it is under the very blanket of freedom provided by the heroes we celebrated this past Monday that we are all free to respond as we would choose. Our own tradition, the United Church of Christ, is built upon a congregational model that invests all authority and autonomy in the local church. This is probably part of why you consider Wayzata Community Church your home. In the priesthood of all believers, we discern together what God is calling us to do and be. In the midst of fluid and changing realities, let me offer some clarity. First, we believe that church is essential, perhaps more essential than ever in these days of physical distancing. Second, in my mind, the church never closed because we are the church, you and me. In fact, I believe the church has been more open than ever before over the past few months. Open to new ideas, new experiences, new ways of being the church in the world. God is truly doing something new among us, as is declared in Isaiah 43, urging us into new frontiers of faith. Third, I have seen this cartoon across many social platforms lately, and it captures the essence of a conviction that I have held in my heart. Perhaps more than ever, we are one church in many locations. From the very start of this crisis, our mission has remained the same, even as our methods have changed. The opening line of our mission statement is to be a caring community drawn together by God's grace and called to personally live out Christ's love. Over these months, we have become high-tech without diminishing our commitment to being high-touch. We've seen our worship engagement numbers more than double. We have made unprecedented efforts to connect personally by telephone with every household of the church. We have called and equipped a core of caring community ministers that will come alongside our clergy in doing the vital work of pastoral care. We have offered deep and meaningful formation experiences to every age and stage of our membership and witnessed our parables worshiping community connecting in all new ways through live online worship. All the while, we have faithfully conducted the business of the church with our first ever online annual meeting that drew the highest numbers of attendance in nearly 20 years. And welcomed into the life of the church a robust group of new members, including a new digital category of membership with families from San Francisco to New Jersey. Look, no one wants to be back together and in a packed sanctuary more than me and the leaders with whom I am blessed to serve this church. But because we are a larger church, this gathering together is more complicated. A majority of our worshiping community, particularly in the summer months, is 65 years of age and older, the most vulnerable segment of our population. We need time to plan so that we can be absolutely certain of our ability to keep our members and friends safe when they do begin to come back to our building. Following guidelines provided by the Minnesota Department of Health and the Center for Disease Control, and in conversation with other neighborhood faith communities across the religious spectrum with whom we are well aligned, we are developing a phased approach to a comeback. A detailed COVID preparedness plan will begin with staff only on June 1st and continue to unfold as is possible according to the very highest safety standards. We can't predict with any certainty when we will be able to gather again in large groups, but I promise to keep you posted. As this fluid and uncertain reality unfolds, I would remind you that we are still here and as ready as ever to care for you, for your loved ones, and our community according to our mission. What all this means is that for the time being, we will continue with online worship only. Beginning in June, we will diversify our online worship experiences by offering both contemporary and traditional music styles, according to our previous schedule. 8 a.m. and 10:45 a.m. every Sunday will premiere worship experiences with a traditional music flavor, and 9 a.m. will premiere a worship experience with contemporary music. In June, we will also begin a weekly podcast that will be a synopsis of the worship experience with scripture, message, and commentary. We're making every effort to offer our signature Wednesday night outdoor experience where music and message meet on the front lawn. But like everything else, the timing and possibility of that is very uncertain as of today. I know this is hard for everyone, and I know that you are each experiencing this in very different and difficult ways. But there is a universal tie that binds us together, and that is our call to be the hands and feet of the risen and living Christ in the world. When Jesus was pressed about what his followers must do to be faithful, it was simple and clear. Love God and love neighbor as yourself. For the foreseeable future, what it means to love our neighbor at Wayzata Community Church is to remember that we are essential, to show evidence that we are open, and to do our part in the healing of the world by remaining physically distant without permitting spiritual distance. I have closed many of these messages by saying, I'll see you in church. I'll say it again now because it's still true. I will see you in church, in one church with many locations. Be well and know that you are loved.